My name is Sonia Jones if you're new to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a chit-chatty get ready with me video for Valentine's Day. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. It is Sunday. It's actually not the 14th, it's the 13th. But my husband, Dakota, if you're new to my channel, he works tomorrow pretty late because he is a theater teacher and they have rehearsal for their show that they're putting on. Opening night, I believe, is Wednesday, so yes, he's gonna be very busy. So we are gonna celebrate today. So I already brushed my teeth, rinsed off my face. I'm gonna go ahead and put my contacts in. I haven't been putting like a full face of makeup on. Honestly, I don't ever really do that unless I have something to do. And even then, I still don't put like, you know, a lot of eyeshadow recently just because I'm pregnant. If you didn't know, I am 26 weeks. I'll be 27 on Tuesday. For me personally, I know some people, you know, while they're pregnant, they still are super into makeup and do their hair and everything. Me personally, I'm like, I'd rather get some extra sleep because it's getting harder to sleep through the night. I wake up easier now. When I hear noises, I used to be the like heaviest sleeper, but recently I've been waking up to literally every noise I hear from the neighbors, and so it's pretty frustrating. Also, I'm not as into makeup as I used to be like when I was in high school. I want to say like my sophomore and junior year, I was super into like beauty gurus on YouTube and looking put together every day. And I think, you know, also I had this thought that I didn't look put together unless I did my hair and makeup, which is totally not true. I could not wear any makeup and wear my hair naturally because I have naturally wavy hair and still look put together. It was just this thought process. I like this ring light. The only thing is like it's a lot of light exposure from one source, and so my eyes, it kind of trips them out. It dries them out so much. So that's the one thing. I don't know if any of you guys have a ring light, but if you do, you probably understand what I'm saying. It just makes my eyes, it's like if the sun was just shining in your eyes. It's kind of the same feeling it gives my eyeballs. They're like, why is it so bright right there? I'm trying to get all these tangles out. Got some fuzz in my hair. I'm just gonna go get some food. We're gonna eat some lunch. Dakota's family is in town this weekend. His dad and his dad's girlfriend and his brother and his brother's girlfriend. They're all in town. So we've been hanging out with his dad and them this weekend. But we're just gonna spend some time on a date for a couple hours. Like I said, he's busy on actual Valentine's Day. This is our third Valentine's together. Fun fact, to be honest, I don't remember what we did the first two, if that tells you anything. Yeah, I literally don't remember. We don't, you know, spend tons of money on each other because it's another day, you know. It's an excuse to go on a date though, I will say that. Because we haven't had, you know, time to recently. I'm excited. I like dating my husband. If you've been here for a while, or if you know me in real life, like you know me personally, you may know that I had been working from home for a while. Worked home for like, I think a month and a half for training for this one company. And well, I just realized with my depression and anxiety, I really hate working at home. I do like being around people. I say that. I like it in doses. But personally, like I'm not the type of person who can spend 8 hours a day at home every single day. That just gets really depressing to me, to be honest. So I'm not doing my work from home job anymore. I'm actually a nanny. I live in San Antonio. If you watch my other videos, you know that. But I used to live in Austin, and when I lived in Austin, I was a substitute teacher for a while, and then after that, I decided I was gonna try to nanny on care.com, which is just this app. Basically, you have to pay, I think it's like $20 to become like a member where you can start applying to jobs. And then you can pay more if you want to have your background check already on there for the people, so they don't have to pay for that. I didn't pay for the background check thing. I figured, you know, if they want to do that, they can. I just did the basic $20 standard. I don't know if it's a subscription or what, but it's not yearly or anything. You just pay $20 once and then you're in. But I did that. I started applying for nanny jobs in Austin, and I got one, and I did that for a month, and then we had moved to San Antonio, and so I wasn't doing that anymore. That's when I started my work from home job. Well, I was job searching for a little bit. Then I got the work from home job, and I realized once I was hired that wasn't really for me, that I need people. My depression just gets worse. I was applying to substitute teach again because I did like that. But keep in mind, I am also pregnant. COVID is still around. You know, a lot of the school districts have different rules on mask mandates and stuff like that. And so I was thinking, well, you know, I am pregnant. I want to be careful. I don't want to potentially get myself sick, but I do need to work. So let me apply for these subbing things, but then maybe I should check out care.com again, and maybe I can find a nanny gig where I'm just with, you know, one family every day, and I'm not exposing myself to a ton of people. So it would potentially just be a lot safer, and I'd be less likely to get sick with anything. So I got on care.com. I found a couple of positions I applied for, and then I finally heard back from one lady, and she went ahead and hired me, and so I have been working for her and nannying her daughter and her son. I was nannying him for a little bit too, but he's back in daycare now because he originally was. Their daughter though is 5 months old, so they don't want her in daycare just yet because, you know, when they're babies they don't really have an immune system. And again, you're just more likely to catch something when your child is when they're in a huge group setting. So yeah, I am nannying for them. I really love my job, honestly. I love my boss. She's like one of the sweetest people I've ever met, and I'm really lucky. I got really lucky with this gig. That's currently what I'm doing. So yeah, if you did subscribe to my channel for work from home vlogs, I'm sorry. That's not really gonna be a thing because yeah, just for my mental health, I couldn't do it. I do actually still work 9 to 5, but I'm just a nanny instead. Last week we had our freeze scare. It seemed like it, you know, snowed everywhere else but San Antonio. Literally, I saw like people posting in Austin that it had snowed. Back in West Texas, where my family lives, they got snow. Literally everywhere got snow. Dallas got snow, but here in San Antonio, we got no snow. We had a huge freeze warning all throughout Texas if you live in Texas, and that's because we had a horrible freeze last year, which you probably heard about even if you lived out of state, because everybody was like, what the heck is happening? It snowed so much in February, and the roads were horrible. There was horrible accidents on the highway because people don't know how to drive in general, but then add snow and it just makes it 10 times worse. So they expected something like that this year, and they still do, but they thought it was gonna come last week. So I had a couple days off. I think I had Thursday and Friday off. And me and Dakota, he also had off because he works for a school as a teacher, as I've already said. We stayed home and binged Euphoria because I had tried to watch it a while back, like me and him both did, I think like a year ago, and we just never finished it. We got like 3 episodes in, and then yeah, we didn't finish it. So I was like, you know what? I really like Zendaya. I want to watch this show. Like, everybody's talking about it. So let me just go ahead and see what all this hype is about. So I watched it. We both did. We're caught up to what is streaming now every Sunday. Yeah, I will say I love Zendaya. I really like the storyline and how it's showing how addiction affects people. I really, really appreciate that, because I think we need more shows like this, because it helps us have empathy for others, to see kind of how they struggle, and not just, you know, label them like, oh, they're just some selfish drug addict. So I really do like what they're doing for drug addiction with the show. I will say though, they like very much like hypersexualized teenagers and sex in this show, and that's one thing. It's like, you feel like you're watching porn when you watch this show. So at times, because it's just so like, oh my god, this set when they're in high school, like, I would never do this in high school. Like, when I was in high school, I got killed, you know? And even if my mom was cool with stuff like that, like, I don't know, I was pretty awkward. So it's just really weird. Really like the acting. Acting is really good. The characters are there's some interesting characters and storylines and stuff like that. And I'm gonna continue watching it. But like I said, I just don't agree with like hypersexualizing teenagers, because yeah, I feel like kids nowadays already think that like they have to grow up even sooner. And it's just like, this show, somebody posted, it's a post on Twitter or Facebook or something, or both, but how Euphoria could have been set in college, and I totally agree. It's kind of crazy to think like the targeted audience is high schoolers, and they think like, oh, this is so realistic, this is so relatable, because yeah, when I was in high school, which wasn't, you know, but 6 years ago, like that's when I graduated in 2016, wasn't less than 6 years ago, it was nothing like that. To be fair, I also went to high school in West Texas, so very different mindset. I still like the show. I love Zendaya. She's so talented. Yeah, it's a really good show. We also binge Sex Education, which Dakota tried to get me into like a while back, and I'm just weird. I get uncomfortable like watching, you know, a lot of sex scenes or like a lot of nudity. I don't know why. That's just me. Like, I'm just like, I feel uncomfortable. First time I tried to watch it, I was like, oh my god, because it opens up with, you know, I'm pretty sure it opens up with some guy giving it to a girl like from behind, and that's like the opening scene, and I was like, what the heck is this? What am I watching? Which obviously in the title, Sex Education. I was like, I don't know if I can watch this. Well, then after watching Euphoria, which basically has like porn scenes, he was like, it's not, he's like, Sex Education isn't that bad. It's like not even as bad as Euphoria scenes are. So I was like, okay, fine. I watched Euphoria, I'll watch this. Like, I'll give it another shot. So I started Sex Education. Oh my god. If you haven't seen Sex Education on Netflix, it is such a good show. It's set in England, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's London, but it's set in England. And it's surrounded on all these high schoolers. The main person is a dude. I can't remember his name right now because I like literally fried my brain watching this. Like, I watched 2 seasons and they're an hour, like every episode is an hour long, and there's 8 episodes in every season. And yeah, I watched these seasons in 2 days. Like, I watched 2 seasons in 2 days. So I watched like 8 hours of television just back to back. There's 3 seasons on Netflix. We're on season 3, we haven't started it yet. But, oh my gosh. Such a funny show. I feel like it just really captures like how awkward you are as a teenager. And when you're like learning about your body and sex and just you know, those first time like feelings of, oh my god, what is happening to my body. It's so good. Got a lot of good humor in it. It's hilarious. It literally cracks me up. So the main guy, his mom is a sex therapist, and he's this really, really awkward teenager who, I think he's like 15 in the first season, and you know, he's a virgin obviously, and he's not in touch with his, you know, sexuality and his body, and he feels uncomfortable, which is how most, you know, teenagers feel. And so it just captures that whole like awkwardness of being a teenager. It educates the people watching it on sex, and they just normalize it, you know. It's normal to want to have sex, and it's true. I mean, I feel like if we talked about that in schools, and you know, we talked about safe sex and basically like about birth control and stuff like that, we would, you know, have less teen pregnancies versus, you know, especially in Texas education just being like, the only way to not get pregnant is to not have sex. Which, I mean, yeah, you know, even if you use a condom, the condom can break. Even if you're on birth control, sometimes you can still get pregnant. I've heard of that happening to people. But still, like, teenagers are gonna have sex. And so why not educate them on how to have it the safest way possible, and to not, you know, get anything from anybody or spread anything, and to, you know, try not to get pregnant, versus just saying abstinence is key. Because, you know, everybody who is an adult now knows what it was like being in high school, and they know that you're gonna do it at some point. So this show focuses on that. It's literally the title, sex education. It's so funny. I really recommend checking it out. I can't even explain because my brain, I haven't had any coffee this morning, like everything about it. But it's a really good show. Other than that, I started Blackish on Hulu. I'm pretty sure the show has ended. I think it has 8 seasons. I'm on season 1 still. I'm on like episode 8 or 9. It's a sitcom. Oh my gosh. And we also started, and it's really funny. But again, it's like 8 seasons long. Centers on a family. Basically, the first episode, the premise is like this man, he's married, and his wife is half black, and I'm pretty sure he's like full black, and he's like worried about his kids like losing their culture because they live in like a super white suburban neighborhood, because the dad and the mom, you know, the mom's a doctor and the dad works in advertisement, and so they're pretty well off, and so they live in this super suburban area, and it's not culturally diverse really. So he's like, he wants his kids to not lose their culture and to remember like they're black, basically. He's like, I want you to be black, I don't want you to be black-ish, and that's like one of the quotes he says. And so yeah, the show is called Blackish, and it's pretty hilarious. Like I said, I'm not too far into it. I told my brother about it though, so he's watching it also, and he's actually further than me. I think he's like 3 seasons ahead of me or something. If you hear that noise, that's my neighbors. Well, that noise, that's my father-in-law. But the water running, that's my neighbors. So, and if you hear stomping, that's my neighbors. Whew. Oh my gosh. I think I just had a Braxton Hicks contraction, which if you're not pregnant or you've never been pregnant, it's basically like a false contraction, just prepping your body for what the real things are gonna feel like. But it's like, it was like a tightness in my my stomach and like a little painful. But I am, 26 weeks, so I'm not going into labor, but that was painful. I haven't had one of those standing up yet, and I just did, and I didn't appreciate it. I'm very, very, very excited to meet my daughter, which just sounds crazy because, yeah, I mean, you could talk about how we feel so old. We're like, oh my god, we're having a kid. Like, it's wild. I'm really excited to meet my baby girl, Coraline. That's what we're naming her, after the claymation movie. And there's also a book, if you haven't read it. It's actually very different than the movie. I read it like multiple times in middle school. Fun fact, there's actually no YB. The creator of the movie, he added YB because before it was supposed to be just Coraline, like, and it made it even creepier how isolated she was and she really had nobody. But yeah, I think they wanted to, give her a friend so it wasn't that creepy. You didn't want to scar the children. You just wanted to creep them out a little bit but make them like it. So if you've seen that movie Coraline, yes, that's where we got the name. Her name is Coraline Jones in the movie. My husband's last name is Jones, so Coraline Jones. I'm not excited for the labor process. I'm not ready to go through all that, and I feel like we still have a lot of prep to do, so I'm hoping she, stays in there until 40 weeks, I'm hoping she doesn't come early, because like I said, I just feel like we have a lot to do still for her, like for her room, and then just like mentally prepping to be like a parent. So yeah, but it'll be here before we know it. Literally 14 weeks left. Like I said, I don't really put makeup on too often. I am gonna start with this Marula Primer. I know this ring light is like causing a really horrible reflection. I got this from my mom around Christmas time when I went down and saw her for Christmas. She gave me a bunch of makeup because I didn't have any that matched my skin. The last time I bought like foundation was for my wedding, and that was in July, and it was a lot darker. So I was like, Mom, I don't have anything that matches. Can I borrow something? And she was like, here, just take it. Because it was too dark for her, and it actually matches my skin pretty well. So I just put the primer on, to protect your skin. Then I'm using this Bare Minerals Bare Pro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. And it's in the shade Light Natural 09. I actually bought this palette for our wedding. It's like it's a Morph or Morphe, however you say that. Truth or Bare palette. And I really like all the colors. They're so pretty, very neutral. You can see how dirty my sink is. It's like reflecting. But yeah, it's super, super pretty. I love the colors. If I use any eyeshadow, I've been using it from there. As you can see, I just like effed up my brow a little bit. This is what happens when you have a ring light and your contacts are dry AF. So I'm just gonna fix that. That looks like that helped quite a bit. Just kind of want to blend it in. This is a highlighter stick. I've had this, I'm not even gonna tell you how long I've had this. Like, yeah, I probably should throw it away. But it's just so easy, to put highlighter on like this. And I just think it looks really cute. So just rub it in with my finger. That's literally all I do. I feel like Coraline, like overnight, just got so much bigger because I can't bend down. I know it doesn't look, she doesn't look that big right now. Maybe she does. Maybe you're like, wow, Sonia, you're huge. I just feel like overnight though, like today I tried to roll up my jeans like I normally do because I have a bunch of jeans. I got a couple pairs from my aunt. She gave me some of her old maternity jeans, and she's a very tall woman and I'm very short. And so I have to roll the pants, like the bottom of the pants up, because otherwise like they're just way too long. And so I tried to put my foot up on the sink this morning so I could do it like I normally do, and I could not get my leg up. Like, it is hard to lift my leg. So I had to put my leg up on the bathroom, like on the tub, so I could roll it up. And then just now I dropped this, and trying to pick it up was like so painful, and I just got a sharp pain in my stomach. I really need to like slow down and like not move so fast. I keep trying to move at the pace that I did before I was pregnant. You know, if you've experienced pregnancy, it's a really big change in your life. Obviously, like you're literally creating a baby, like you're creating a human in you, and your body changes so much. And so yeah, it's really intense. I'm gonna actually do a video in a couple weeks. It's gonna be like me talking about like me dealing with my depression and anxiety during pregnancy, because yeah, I feel like that's an important video to just talk about. I think that there's a lot of people that could relate to it, and I don't think that there's a lot of videos on, you know, dealing with your depression or your anxiety, or if you have both while you're pregnant. There's a lot of how to deal with it postpartum, because a lot of people get postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety, but it's like, how are you dealing with your mental health issues if you already have them, like going into pregnancy? So there's not really any videos I found on that, and so I just feel like it would be helpful for a lot of people, and it would help a lot of mothers or soon-to-be mothers know that they're not alone. So I do plan on doing a video like that in the future. I'm gonna curl my lashes real quick because my husband still needs to get dressed. My lashes never want to stay curled, and then I put mascara on, and it's like the mascara weighs them down and they just fall down. I'm telling you, like, look at my lashes, they get so clumpy. I have long lashes, like I do, like if you look up, like they're long, they just won't stay curled. So what are you gonna do about it? So I just went ahead and put some setting spray on. It's just some e.l.f. setting spray. Let me know in the comments down below what you are doing for Valentine's Day, if you're doing anything. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Bye guys.